Hello and welcome to the Daily Space for today, January 31st, 2020. It is one of those years. So sorry, I'm having technological issues. I'm going to start that over in just a moment. Okay, let's try that again with fewer technology issues. Hello and welcome to the Daily Space for today, January 31st, 2020. I am your host, Dr. Pamela Gay, and I am here to put science in your brain. Because 2020 only takes and never gives, I'm here to bring you the news that yesterday, after more than 16 years of amazing science, the Spitzer Space Telescope was decommissioned. Launched in 2003, this mission started with a liquid helium coolant that allowed it to see far into the infrared, revealing in high resolution aspects of the sky that had only been hinted at by the earlier IRAS telescope, which is coincidentally the telescope that had a near miss over Pittsburgh earlier this week. In 2009, Spitzer ran out of coolant. Up until this point, it had an imager spectrograph and multi-band photometer that could measure brightnesses across multiple colors. Only the imaging instrument still functioned without coolant, but thanks to Spitzer's creative orbit, the imager could be kept cool enough through passive techniques that Spitzer could keep doing infrared science. Like the sun-observing stereo spacecraft, Spitzer was put into an orbit that was just enough different from Earth's orbit that Spitzer has slowly lagged farther and farther away from our planet. This means the spacecraft only has to worry about heat from a single source, the sun. Thanks to the vacuum of space, most of the sun's heat could be blocked with a sun shield that puts the spacecraft in constant shadow. A sun shield is the same technology that will someday be used by JWST, we hope. While people often think of JWST as a follow-up to Hubble, the truth is that JWST is a follow-up to Spitzer. While Spitzer was a 1-meter class telescope, JWST, if successful, will be a 6.5 meter mirror, and it's a 6-meter class telescope, able to see higher resolutions and fainter objects. Part of retiring Spitzer is preparing for JWST, although this mission, Spitzer, lived far beyond what anyone could have expected. Planned as a 2.5-year mission with the expectation that it would be extended to be a 5 to 6 year mission, it was planned to, end about the same time as the original 2010 launch date for JWST. With JWST's delays, Spitzer's importance to the astronomical community has never slacked, but its batteries couldn't live up to scientific demands. Recently, it has only been able to transmit data back to Earth for a few hours at a time. Several months ago, when JWST looked to be still on track for a March 2021 launch, it was decided that Spitzer would finally be allowed to retire. With the latest Government Accountability Office assessment of JWST, it looks like it is likely that that mission will be delayed again. And for this foreseeable future, astronomy is going to be without an infrared telescope. This is particularly frustrating to the exoplanet community, which built and launched tests assuming JWST would be able to do rapid follow-up. And that community has done amazing work with Spitzer. But now, Spitzer did do more in its 16 years than anyone could have imagined. And as we mourn its loss, we need to also celebrate its amazing accomplishments. Since I first started collecting press releases in 2008, I've received 671 press releases mentioning Spitzer and addressing science topics ranging from comets to exoplanets to small stars to massive galaxies. Spitzer's work was done in the context of NASA's Great Observatories, which worked to make possible, astronomers being able to observe the sky in all the wavelengths of the electromagnetic spectrum. Originally consisting of the Hubble for optical and UV observations, Chandra for X-rays, Compton for gamma rays, and Spitzer for infrared, this program has worked in concert to image target after target. While Compton died too young, failing and deorbiting in 2000, the trio of Hubble, Spitzer, and Chandra have released a myriad of multi-wavelength images. For extragalactic astronomy, these images, including studies of the Whirlpool Galaxy M101 and M82, allow us to trace gas of all temperatures and see the detailed structures of different parts of these complex systems, allowing us to see how galactic cores, star-forming regions, dust and gas, and galactic arms all interact. The drama of stars and nebula was also revealed as this telescope, working with Hubble and Chandra, brought to life through collaboration images of everything from supernova remnants like this one, Cassiopeia A, and star-forming regions like this one, the Tarantula, showing us just how much more dramatic the universe appears if you can see with more than just the colors visible to your eyes. Spitzer has also proven it is an amazing workhorse in its own right. For me, the most remarkable Spitzer data set was a mosaic of our entire galactic disk in infrared. This massive image was printed out in glorious detail and put on display at a meeting of the American Astronomical Society. And since its 2008 release, scientists have continued to find new ways to get new content out of this wealth of pixels. In addition to creating these massive, detailed images, Spitzer has also been responsible for less photographic data that succinctly describes the sizes of the TRAPPIST-1 planets, the presence of water in the atmospheres of planets, including HD 209458b and K218b. And it's been able to document the weather on HD 149026b. In recent years, Spitzer has particularly accelerated our understanding of solar systems, as it's described not just the details of planets, but also their surrounds. And it has studied dust disks, giant planetary rings, and even discovered carbon buckyballs in the environment around a small hot star in the XX Ophiuchi binary system. Put simply, Spitzer did a lot of good science, enough science to fill several seasons of daily space. But there's other news for us to cover. There are a lot of good roundups on Spitzer floating around today. Phil Plait has a great thread on Twitter, and Hank Green, he touches on Spitzer's amazing mosaic and other data in his latest video. Next week, the Weekly Space Hangout will be featuring Michael Warner and Peter Eisenhart, two scientists who worked on Spitzer and are authors of the book More Things in the Heavens that discusses IR astronomy, particularly astronomy by Spitzer. If you want to learn more about Spitzer, all the resources you need to get started will be linked to over on dailyspace.org. And that rounds out our show for today. Thank you all for listening. The Daily Space is, produced by Susie Murph and is a product of the Planetary Science Institute, a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to exploring our solar system and beyond. We are made possible through the generous contributions of people like you. Your bits, your subs, and your patronage over on patreon.org/CosmoQuestX. That's what keeps us going day after day. So I'm now going to hang out. I'm going to answer your questions. Please, if you can, precede them with that purple circle with a purple star in the center, and that will make it easier for me to find them in the chat. All right, let's see what we can find. I have no clue why we're missing the Daily Space text above my head, but we are. So we're going to go with it. These are the things that happen. All right, scrolling up to the top of the chat, and we had bits come in, and I have Cheerios. I have Cheerios for Doggos. I see you. I see you. I added a dog cam yesterday, but seemed to have inadvertently deleted it. Let's see if I can get the dog cam back so that you can enjoy the insanity that is about to take place. One moment. Sorry, I'm having issues where I keep inadvertently resizing the wrong thing on the screen. There we go. There we go. Hi. Hi. Guess what? Over there. So I'll make it rain. You can tell which dogs are the laziest. There we go. Thank you. Your bits bring happiness and joy that we respond to with doggy goodness. Okay, so let's see what all we have. Hello, DPI Paranor, Wayne Johnson, Bad Panda Bear, Michael Meyer, Guido. What are you having for dinner tonight, Guido? Journey started. So Journey started. We actually discussed that image yesterday. So check out our video on demand and see what you can see. Let's see. I know I started muted. Sometimes everything just goes sideways. So the slides did exist, but I unfortunately didn't think through that the lack of slides from the beginning would cause all of you great confusion. Sorry about that. Hello, Broken Symmetry. Hello, PDR Astra NR1. Hello, Planetary Pan. Yeah, Paranor expanded out on what JWST stands for, and I have to admit that I have made it a personal decision to only say JWST because the mission was named after someone who we're now learning was homophobic, misogynist, and basically not the kind of person whose name I want to celebrate on this show. So that's why I so rarely, if ever, say the full name. Thank you for the bits, Planetary Pan. We do still have Sophia, Michael Meyer. You're right. Now, Sophia is an infrared telescope that flies aboard, I believe it's a modified 747 or DC-10. I'm blanking on what kind of modified airplane it flies on. And because it's still within the atmosphere, while it does better than a telescope on the ground would do, it still doesn't have the same capacity that a fully cooled system, even if it's just a passively cooled system that's in orbit, is able to do. So those far infrared wavelengths are still out of reach from Sophia. Now, the other thing about Sophia is while it's a super clever design being on board that aircraft, it can't be used 24/7 the way a space telescope can. And yeah, there's breaks in data as they slew telescopes around and such. Space telescopes in general are workhorses that just keep going. Thank you for the more bits. Thank you. Do you want these? Hi. I'm going to disappoint you. There we go. Thank you. Yes, Binary Blaze has been processing these multi-wavelengths images. They're really kind of amazing. She does that during Sunday Science Hour at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific, most Sundays. Hello, Susie. Apologies if I missed saying hello to anyone. Eddie is saving Cheerios in his fur for later. It's what he does. It's what he does. Thank you for the bits broken symmetry. Thank you. So I think I got all of the questions. Are there any more questions? Stella is now trying to steal your soul, having learned apparently from Tank how to do it. She's now definitely doing a talk to the tail. And Eddie's just staring longingly. It is an Eeyore kind of day. It is true. I'm also having to admit I'm not entirely thrilled with this particular cup of coffee, because it turned out that the only coffee I had this morning was this raspberry Danish coffee I was given as a gift many moons ago, and basically was like, okay, this is the last ditch. I'm out of everything else coffee. I'm going to drink it. Turns out I don't like fruit in my coffee. At least it's coffee. This is true. This is true. All right. Well, if you don't have any more questions, we will be back in an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes with, Doombar sounds tasty. A trip to the grocers is probably needed, or at least to Walgreens. I think that's as far as I'm going to go. I will be back in an hour and 45 minutes with Astronomy Cast, co-hosted between myself and Fraser Kane. This roughly weekly podcast is filmed live before an online audience. So join us and see how the sausage is made. Today's topic is red dwarfs, friend or foe. So I will see you there. For now, I'm going to awkwardly set the credits rolling, because awkward's really the only way I know how to do it. Oh, come now. There we go. And I'm going to say we will see you later. But before I do that, I'm going to actually say the wall of text. This has been The Daily Space. I am your host, Dr. Pamela Gay. We were here, we still are here, to put science in your brain. The Daily Space is a production of the Planetary Science Institute, a 501c3 nonprofit. We are dedicated to exploring the solar system and beyond. The Daily Space is produced by Susie Murph and is brought to you by you. We are here thanks to the generous contributions of people like you. Your bits, your subs, your patronage over on patreon.com/CosmoQuestX lets us pay our bills. So please consider giving. Your donations are tax deductible where the law allows. All right. So go forth and have an excellent day, and or evening or afternoon. I will see you on the other side. Bye-bye.